I think we can start. Principal may be joining within a minute or so.
Okay, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. I, Ayushi Pinjola from second year, would like to extend a very warm welcome to you all on the behalf of Psychology Department of Aryabhat College. Previously, on 15 February 2021, we had our first webinar session on expressive arts therapy by our praiseworthy guest, Avantika Malhotra. I hope that it was like we all have attended it and it was definitely very inspiring and motivating. So, today, in continuation, we all have again gathered here on this virtual platform to hold our second webinar on the topic stress and yoga by our esteemed guest for today, Marcus Henna. I humbly ask you all to sit down with a fresh mind, kindly be careful, keep your mics muted and also your cameras on. All your questions will be answered during the question answer round. Kindly feel free to use the chat box. Now I will invite our respected Dr. Rajesh Divedi to kindly formally inaugurate the session. So
Sir,
you
you're muted.
I get much stressed. I need yoga much more than anyone else, in fact. So uh, I welcome Marcus Henna, and it's quite nice to have him. Uh, he's from Germany, and Germany has always been helping India in making them aware of their own traditions. In fact, if you know, all the original Sanskrit manuscripts, original Sanskrit manuscript, I'm talking about the scriptures and many other things, are not in India. They are in University of Berlin. They are the one who traveled through the various villages, and various scholars collected the original manuscripts, and they are preserved over there, University of Berlin. And they are the ones who first made the commentary on Kalidas's Abhigyan Shakuntalam. And thereafter, the attention of the whole scholars all around the world realized that Abhigyan Shakuntalam is a great classic. And they are the ones, Germany's contribution in India's realization of the past is immense. Hanna comes from the same tradition. He has gone through these different parts of India and learned many things. And I think when I was talking about Henna, Henna likes to be called a student, and that's great. All good teachers are lifelong students. The hunger for knowledge, to learn something new, should always be there. Along with knowledge should come humility. So he's an embodiment of both the things. Quest for knowledge plus the humility. You can see, and therefore he likes to be called a student. And that's what a teacher really is. Means really supposed to be. If a teacher feels there is no chance or opportunity or scope of getting new knowledge, it is death in life. You are a living being, but virtually it is a death. So he's a means we can get inspiration from him, from his life as well. His knowledge is there, and he's going to different parts of the world teaching yoga, which he has learned over there. But do remember, the principal aim of a yoga is chit vritti nirodha. So nirodha means to purify. What? Chit, mind. We, through physical exercises, we reach the mind. Yoga means combination, a balance between mind and body. And that's what is achieved in different forms of the yoga. And he is practicing, and what I have seen is Hatha yoga. Hatha yoga, Hatha means tenacity, means means what you call as resistance. Means if you decide to do something, you have a heart jid, you will do it. In life, a person, if he doesn't have a tenacity to do something in life, that person is dead in life, in fact. So the tenacity to do it, the commitment to do it, this is what heart means. And if you go to the linguistic analysis, etymology, heart means sun. Sorry, ha means sun, hum, and hat means moon. Sun symbolizes power, action, and moon symbolizes mental balance. The combination of physical balance and mental balance is there. Therefore, you must have seen mental asylums are called lunatic asylums. Lunatic comes from lunar, means moon. Means whenever the moon is in full bloom, there is a disturbance on the surface of the water of the sea, and plus people who are suffering from mental problem, they face the fit. Many type of tribulations come in their life. So combination of the force on the physical level and the strength on the mental level is called Hatha Yoga. He is an specialist of a Hatha Yoga, and he will be talking about it. I have a very superficial knowledge of a Hatha Yoga in a way. He is the one who I got involved in Ashtanga Yoga and many other things. So Hatha Yoga is a very important aspect of life. It teaches us to be tenacious, to be honoring our commitment without fear or favor. And it's a means unlimited space of knowledge is there. People go on accumulating knowledge, but the commitment means he is going everywhere without thinking about any benefits in life, without making any profit in material sense. Yes, satisfaction is there, satisfaction of sharing the knowledge, shaping the life of the people here and there. But the essential, what you call satisfaction is sharing the knowledge, which is what life all about is, means sharing, giving, and you get something. But what you get is not material, something very spiritual. So Hannah is here. I'm talking about the yoga and how we achieve the balance of both the things, mind and body, because yoga means combination. That's a great thing that he is here. And I'm waiting for the principal. Maybe there may be some technical issues over there. It's difficult for him to just make connections, because many a time in our college, the Wi-Fi connections get disturbed. So I have talked about these things, but he is the best person to talk about the yoga things and everything. And we are really privileged to have him. Means a person like him with commitment in life, completely self-effacing, selfless, that's great. And Hannah, therefore, I welcome you, and I'm ready to be, Miss, I will always remain your student, because this is not my area. I will always be learning something from you. And now I request Ayushi to please take over. Yes.
Thank you so much, sir, for your noteworthy words. Yes, surely we'll feel the absence of principal, sir. But yes, we hope that he'll join us all soon. So now I would like to invite Karthik D'Souza to formally introduce our esteemed guest for today.
Good
Yes, sir.
afternoon, one and all present here. Today,
Karthik, just wait for a few minutes.
yeah, I'm waiting. I just got that. I'm waiting.
Please.
Principal sir is joining.
Karthik, just commence once principal sir joins. Then you can start. All right? Let's wait.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, welcome, Dr. Manoj Sinha.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, you are mute. Sorry.
Sir, you have muted yourself. Dr. Sinha?
Yes,
Oh, yes,
I have
right.
muted myself for a reason. I'll be back in 30 seconds. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So let us welcome Dr. Manoj Sinha. He has always been making time and space for us to visit whenever we organize any such seminars, anything. This last time he was at the airport, and still he joined us. And today he's in a very important meeting in the college, and still he was ready to give time to us. So please, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Dwivedi. It's always a pleasure to come to a program by the psychology department. It's one of the active departments, so to say, of the college, and very proud of the way that this department has structured itself in the last 4 or 5 years of existence. It's one of the new departments of the college, very recent, and yet we have made good footprints and done very good work among students, gone as per expectation of the institution. But of course, as we say, there is always scope of improvement. There is always newer things to do. And today's seminar is, or workshop, whatever you are calling it today, is a step in that direction. You see, mental health, stress management have been focus of the whole COVID period. Last 1 year or so, not only India, not only Asia, not the whole world has been devastated in many ways, economically, in health terms, and every way, but not less on the mental front also. And that's where the role of psychologists, all those who can support psychologically individuals as well as groups, and contribute in positive ways, has been very important. That you took up this very issue a couple of days back is an excellent issue. But today I do believe that you are going to concentrate on yoga, and in particular on Hatha yoga, uh, and the way it can redress. I know that any yoga can do a lot of physical wonders to individuals, and it does tend to give you peace and rational thinking, a background for rational thinking and everything. But that yoga can also alleviate a lot of problems related to mental health, is something that one needs to practice and feel for everybody. And if some of you can pick up the nuances and contribute in some ways to the health of our students and our faculty members and everyone in the college society, will be very, very glad. So I thank today's resource person. You are from Germany, and yet you are able to tell us about yoga, which we should have adopted in our lives in many ways. And I know that Dr. Dwivedi, who is heading this department, does practice a lot of yoga, and also his behavior, coolness, and his situation also reflects all that is that you give to a person, a complete holistic kind of mind synchronization thoughts. And I hope that the students will be able to extend this further also to holistic development in harmony with nature. And in our quest for so-called developed society and a developed economy and everything, somewhere we forget that human all resources besides human also, there are resources that are there, and there are traditions in India which respect all resources. When with all due respect to our resource person, if I may, uh, in the P-Sukta of the Atharva, uh, uh, we have these hymns where which all of us recite in the various pujas that we do. Prithvi Shanti, Vanaspatah Shanti, Jiva Shanti. So we are asking for Shanti of each of the components of the Mother Earth. And this is not only an Indian tradition. In the Greek tradition also, Gaia theory says that, they consider Earth to be mother. And therefore, all the elements, the soil, the water, the air, everything is respected. And when we begin to do things like that, then we have a more holistic development in harmony with nature. And that is what is important. So today's session, I'm hoping, will give you some food for thought about developing yourselves as people, as persons, as a member of the society, more holistically. Thank you so much, and welcome to Aryabhat College, and all the best to the psychology department.
Thank you, Dr. Sinha. By revealing the depth of your knowledge, we shall be inviting again you only to speak exclusively on the type of things we talked about, Rig Veda, Sutra, and others. Thank you, sir. Please go ahead.
Yes. Thank you, sir, for your praiseworthy words. Now I'll call upon Karthikeya to formally introduce our esteemed guest for today.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. Today I, Karthikeya Duseja, on behalf of Psychology Department, take this opportunity to introduce our esteemed speaker for today, Mr. Marcus Hanna, who is a passionate student and a certified yoga coach based in Berlin, Germany. Sir is highly dedicated and passionate towards yoga, and he has attended a 200-hour yoga training in Goa, India, has mastered advanced teacher training in Bali, Indonesia, and is pretty proactive about learning various yoga practices of different cultures. Sir's ecstasy, curiosity, and perseverance towards yoga speaks volumes louder the reason behind his success and the positive difference he has made to numerous lives. Nivea, Lifeband, Skill Yoga are some of the giants with whom Sir has collaborated. And in today's webinar, Sir will enlighten us about various practical and effective techniques to reduce stress, accumulate less stress, and most importantly, become more resilient to stress. And I also personally believe that what separates the best from the rest is how one manages stress. And it is indeed a moment of pride and honor for the psychology department to have Sir amongst us. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Karthikeya. Now I would like to invite our esteemed guest for today to kindly take the charge and commence the session.
Namaste, all of you. Thank you for your wonderful, kind words. It's a huge pleasure and an honor to be speaking to you. It's wonderful for me to speak to people in India, the route where I have studied yoga, where I have learned yoga, now being back in Germany, being able to share some of my insights with you. It's a wonderful honor. Thank you for that. And with no further ado, I'll jump right into the session, okay? So let's define the task at hand. What am I going to do? I am going to present to you a perspective on stress from a yogic lens, and I'm going to present to you two exercises. First one has 5 steps, second has 2 or 3 steps, and these two exercises will help you to significantly reduce the stress you accumulate. They will help you to be more focused, and they will help you to reduce the stress that you have already accumulated in the past. And we are already right into the first step of our exercise, which is defining the task. So that is what I'm doing right here. I'm defining the task that I'm going to do. For how long I'm going to do it? For about 1 hour. What is my intention behind it? My intention behind it is to enable you to deal better with your day-to-day life, to be better performers, and thus to increase the well-being that you experience. So first, always define your task. Because only if you define your task when you go into a situation, then you'll be able to measure your outcome. And it'll make you much more likely to do what you intend to. If you come into this workshop without any intention, you might just sit and slack off and scroll your phone. But if you come with the intention to learn as much as you can within the next hour, it will be much more likely that you'll pay attention, that you pick up the information that I'm presenting to you. So it is of utmost importance to always clarify your task at hand and your intention. If you came here to learn one life-changing insight, you got it already. If from now on, whenever you enter any situation, if you go to work, if you study, if you cook a meal for your loved ones, if you clarify your intention, what are you about to do, how long you're going to do it, this can be life-changing already. But this is just where we start. All right? Step 1, define your task. Step 2 in the exercise is to make the task meaningful. There's a beautiful story. So in the ancient town of Hampi that you might be familiar with, a woman walks alongside the road and she sees two men working. The first one is looking really angry while he's laying bricks. And so she asks him, "Excuse me, sir, what are you doing?" He looks at her annoyingly and says, "I'm laying bricks, can't you see?" And so he continues to lay his bricks. And then she sees the second man who looks really happy. And she asks him, "Excuse me, sir, what are you doing?" And he's also laying bricks, but then he looks at her and says, "Ma'am, I am building the most magnificent temple that has ever been built by the human race. And it's an honor and a worship to my gods to do that." And then happily he continues to lay the bricks. So whatever you do, if you experience a sense of meaning while you're doing it, you'll do it way differently. The quality of your task will be completely different if you experience a sense of meaning. And your experience while doing it will be utterly different as well. One person is laying bricks just as well as the other, but the other has great joy because it ties in with his higher values. His task is attached to his values. And this is really what happens when we do engage in works. When we are moving towards a higher value, that is what is engagement. This is what the dopamine system in our body is doing, as far as I understand. We get rewarded by all these nice, happy hormones when we are moving towards a goal of value. All right? And even Nietzsche said, the one who has a how, the one who has a why can bear almost any how. And the good thing is, with the power of our mind, we are able to make this principle work for us very easily. So all you have to do is whenever you do something, when you have defined your task, you ask yourself, why am I doing it? Why is it important to me? How does it tie up with my values and virtues? And you try to entangle the task that you're doing with your highest values in life. So for example, why am I giving this workshop? Because I experience a sense of joy doing it. But why is that important to me? Because I believe I have the possibility to share with you these two exercises that might potentially be life-changing for you. And how does it tie up with my values? I believe in my life, it is my highest goal to be able to teach, to share, to heal, and to help others. This is the meaning of my life for me. So this is why this workshop is of utmost importance and meaning to me. And this is why I experience so much joy doing it. You see how that ties up wonderfully. And the next step after we experience the sense of meaning is to make the task emotional. You see, we're running down the ladder of abstraction. So first we're just abstractly defining the task, we're doing it, then we tie it up to our values, and then we go further down into our emotions. I've once attended a very good workshop. It was also in India, it was in South India, in Orville, about emotions. And the speaker there gave me a very powerful, mind-changing perspective on emotions. Whereas most people view certain emotions, the positive emotions, is something that we should pursue and increase the amount of time that we spend in experiencing those positive emotions. And negative emotions is basically just something we want to avoid. And the new paradigm that I got for myself is to view all emotions as guides or as signposts towards you moving towards your highest value. So all emotions can work for you if you just view them correctly. If you experience positive emotion, that might mean you move towards your value, to your goal. And if you experience negative emotions, you might move away from it. Also, you guys might be familiar with it. If you test rats in the laboratory and you check how motivated they are to do something, you basically tie them up to a string, and then if you put food in front of them, let's say, and then they run towards the food, and the more they pull on the string, the more motivated they are. So if you starve the rat, the food becomes more motivating, it pulls stronger. That is the positive emotion that the rat moves towards. Also, in the same way, you can put a cat behind the rat, and then it runs away from the cat, also pulls the string. It's motivated because it's afraid. Fear is also a strong motivator. And the rat runs fastest if you put food in front of a starved rat and a cat behind it. And this is what we're doing in the exercise as well. Step 3 is make it emotional. So, with the technique of emotional visualization, which also comes from the yogic tradition, in Yoga Nidra, we use the system of visualization to evoke certain emotional states. This is what we're going to do. So first, we want to put our negative emotions of fear behind us. Therefore, we will visualize how bad we will feel if we fail to do the task that we have defined. And we will feel really bad failing a task that is tied up with our highest values. And then we will visualize how good we will feel when we accomplish a task that has a lot of meaning to us. And so in this way, both sides of the emotional spectrum are on our sides and help us to accomplish what we want to. And then we go even further down the hierarchy and we go into the body. We start to breathe heavily. So the breathing exercise that we practice is very similar to Pastrika Pranayama, which is one of the traditional pranayamas from Hatha Yoga. Also in the scriptures, it is said to be the most powerful pranayama. We'll do a slight variation on that. What we are essentially doing is controlled hyperventilation. So we breathe really heavily. What it does is to open up the lung cavity. We oversaturate the blood with oxygen. We increase the heart rate. We open the blood vessels. We increase the blood flow. We increase the supply of nutrients and oxygens into every cell, including the brain of our body. And we increase the deportation of waste material from every cell out of the body. So this very simple breathing technique is getting your whole physical structure up and running for the task that you're about to do. Maybe anybody of you might be familiar with Wim Hof. He is a guy from Netherlands. He has made this breathing technique world famous. There are lots of studies about it. There's even a subculture of people who do only this one breathing exercise and it transforms their lives. You can go to YouTube, check out breathwork. People are reporting amazing stuff only from doing one breathing exercise. And this is the exercise that I will be sharing with you in just a minute. There's just one more step to it. Step 5, stop breathing. So we will stop breathing. Again, this is also brought down from the yogic traditions. There we call it Kumbhaka, in particular Kevala Kumbhaka, which is said to help us to increase our willpower and to achieve our highest goals. What we're doing, why we're doing it, when we stop the breath, we are voluntarily creating a very, very high stress situation in the body, because no breath is a life-threatening situation for your physical system, right? So what happens? Your body switches into panic mode. Adrenaline gets released into your blood. This makes your focus sharp, razor blade sharp. You might have experienced a situation when you're in danger and you're almost experiencing time passing slower. This is because your mind gets so focused. This is what adrenaline brings in your bloodstream. Also, what then happens is obviously we will start breathing again after a minute. But then all systems activated. And Wim Hof actually used the metaphor. It's like if you declare war in your body and you recruit all the soldiers you have at hand to come out, but then you tell them, okay, war is over. And now just go and repair whatever you can because you already have the soldiers recruited. This is what also happens in your body. This is why the practice of kumbhaka or breath retention then helps you to decrease the levels of inflammation within your body. And just on the side, it drastically improves your willpower because what you're doing is voluntarily facing a very uncomfortable situation that helps you grow, which is in itself more or less a definition of willpower. This is what willpower means, to be disciplined, to do things you don't want to do because they're uncomfortable, but you have to do because they're good for you. And breath retention is one of the not easiest to do, but easiest to access practice to increase your willpower and to make you more stress resilient, because your body and mind are just used to this very, very high stress situation every day, given you practice it every day, of course. Okay, so these are the 5 steps. First, define your task, clarify your intention. Second, make the task meaningful. Third, engage your emotions. 4, breathe heavily. And 5, stop breathing. Enough theory for now. Let's go and do this practice together. I'll guide you through, and I've been talking a lot. The practice will take about 5 minutes. And what I actually would like to do, because the practice is always applied, it is always very certainly applied to a task that's part of the practice. I will now share with you a link in the messages to a scientific paper, which is about the practice of Bhastrika, which is a very similar breathing technique to what we're doing. And I would just give you, after the practice, I'll give you like 5 to 7 minutes to read the abstract in the introduction of the paper. So there you go. You guys should be able to see the link in the chat box. So you can open up the link. Everybody sees it. Can you maybe give me a hand sign? You see it? All right. So you can open up the link. Once you have that, then we go into the experiential part. This is where the rubber meets the road. Okay, so let's go. Make yourself comfortable. Make sure you sit upright. Your spine is straight, your shoulders relaxed, and then I invite you to gently close down your eyes. Take a breath. Feel the breath moving. Now answer the question. I'll help you for now. What are you going to do? In our example, I am going to read this scientific paper. For how long I'm going to do it? For about 7 minutes. What is my intention behind it? This intention could be, I want to extract as much information out of this paper as possible. I want to read the paper with as much focus as I can manage to. You can find any other intention for you. What is your intention behind reading this paper? Now let's make the task meaningful. Why do we read this paper? Maybe there's some information in the paper that will be of use to me. Maybe it will help me in some way. Why is it important that I do it? How does it tie up with higher values of myself? For example, it could be, I consider myself to be an educated person. And this is why it is important to me to be able to read a scientific paper in a concentrated and proper manner. Could be any other value that you find. What is your value and how does it entangle with the task? Why is reading this paper important to you? Now let's make it emotional. Visualize yourself if you should fail accomplishing the task. Maybe after 3 minutes you will distract and look at your smartphone and scroll your smartphone instead of reading the paper. You will have failed to read the paper for 7 minutes, which is important to you. How will that make you feel? You might feel defeated. You might feel a sense of failure. You might be sad. Allow yourself to experience this emotion. Visualize yourself failing the task. Now drop it. Let it go. Let it go. Just drop it like a hot stone. Now imagine how good you will feel when you accomplish the task. Imagine how good you will feel when for this next 7 minutes, with a razor sharp mind, you're going to read the paper, you extract all the information, you learn something meaningful. How will that make you feel? Go into that emotion. Success, pride, happiness, joy, gratitude. And now start to breathe heavily through your open mouth. Deep inhale, full exhale. Deep inhale, full exhale. Breathe deeply and heavily through the open mouth. Open your mouth and breathe deeply with energy. Allow your upper body to move with the breath. Open up all the lungs. Inhale as much air as you can and exhale it all. We do this for about a minute more. Put energy into the breath. Get your system running. If your mouth gets dry, it's fine. If you have to cough a little bit, it's fine. If you start to feel tingling sensations, that's great. If you start to get lightheaded, awesome. Keep continuing to breathe deeply and strongly through the open mouth. 10 more breaths. Make them work. Okay, the last few breaths. Deep inhale. Full exhale. And then the very last breath, inhale very deeply, all the air in. Then exhale completely. And now don't inhale. Retain the breath. Withstand the temptation to inhale. Be strong. You can do it. Hold it. Feel the sensation. Hold it. You have the willpower, the discipline to hold your breath. Stay for another moment. We're aiming for 1 minute. Almost there. 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep inhale. Inhale all the lungs full. Wait 1 second before you exhale, just a moment. Now release the breath, relax. Remember, what are you about to do? For how long? Why does it matter? How good will you feel when you have accomplished your task successfully? Now open your eyes again and go ahead and read the paper. I would like you to read the abstract and the introduction. We have about 7 minutes. Okay, you have 2 more minutes. If you're done already, just go over the beginning again, maybe. Maybe think about it, reflect. Okay, good job. Would anyone like to share his experience with the exercise and reading the paper? Of course, you're free to share any interesting insights of the paper. For now, what I'm more interested about is the experience of the exercise. Maybe can think of the difference the exercise had made in comparison if I would just have given you the paper without the exercise and had said, okay, just go read that for 5 minutes, in comparison to how it felt to do the exercise and then read the paper. If anybody would like to share. If not, it's fine too.
What an experience which I would like to add on to the experience of such breathing exercises that it helps you feel relieved, and a person feels less stressed after doing such exercises. That whatever the things are bothering, they settle down, and the one is able to think in a composed manner at what might be the right solution of the problems which we are going through.
Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
Hello.
Yes?
Without the exercise that we have done just now, we wouldn't have been so much focused, and while reading the paper we had a purpose, and it gave us a sense of accomplishment and a sense of success that we are doing something for. There is a purpose behind that, and if we would have been given the paper simply read that, we wouldn't have finished that too maybe, and we wouldn't have that sense of purpose that we had, and we wouldn't feel so good about reading that. That's it.
Exactly.
Thank
Almost. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. So that is exactly what the exercise is about. Everything that I explained, it makes you're clear about what you're going to do. It makes it meaningful. It makes your emotions work for you. It gets all your physical structure up and running. It makes you engaged in the task. So this exercise basically can be done before we do any exercise, before we do any task, and it helps us to be more stress resilient, to have more energy at our disposal, and then also to accumulate less stress while we're in the task, because when we do something meaningful, we experience it as less of a burden. So thus we accumulate less stress. But this is only one side of the coin, because when we are stressed, the stress is not the issue. The accumulation of stress is the issue. So in yoga, we have the principle of prana and apana. I will boil it down. I make it really simple. So I cut out things for the people who are not familiar with the terminology. I intentionally make it simple. Okay, prana is the life force, the vital energy that we basically inhale. This is the energy that we use to do things, to think, the energy that we transform into something else. Always when we do anything, there is also waste material. This is apana. And the waste material has to be departed. This is basically what we exhale. This is basically carbon dioxide, if you want to think in that manner. And so what you can think of is that when you're stressed, it is an accumulation of apana. It is an accumulation of tension, of waste material. And when that happens, the cause for it is not necessarily that you have not enough energy at your disposal, or that you're not resilient enough, or that the workload is too high. The cause might be that the deportation of waste material in the Apana is not correct. What that means is if you are stressed out, it might be the case that you're not resting enough or not resting properly. Maybe you think I'm working too much, but maybe that's not the problem. Maybe the problem is not the workload, but the rest. This is a very, very crucial point to understand. You are capable of unbelievable things if you function well. But if you don't rest properly, all the apana, the waste material, the tension will accumulate in your body. So we don't have to think of consuming more energy and of working less. We have to think of resting better and more. Also, to illustrate, you can think everybody who's a runner will know that the problem when you exercise often is not to inhale, but to exhale. The problem is not to get the air in, but it's to get the carbon dioxide out. That's why runners usually inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And that already takes us to the first step in our second exercise, conscious exhalation. What we do when we exhale is we get rid of the carbon dioxide and we make our breath more shallow, and that activates our parasympathetic nervous system, which is our relax and repair mode. So in the exercise, what we'll do, it's very simple but very effective at the same time. Exhale through the mouth, long conscious exhale through the mouth, and then inhale through the nose automatically. Inhale happens spontaneously. And you will experience a sense of calm just in a minute or two doing this exercise. Step 2 in exercise number 2 is to consciously relax, because we have a big misconception, many of us, with relaxation. We confuse relaxation and mindlessness. When you take a break between your seminars or your teachings, you might just slouch down on your couch and scroll your Instagram feed. But this is distraction and mindlessness and not relaxation. When you do this, your body is in a bad shape, you can't breathe properly, there's no proper blood flow, it's not recovering for your body, and scrolling your Instagram feed is certainly high stress for your mind, for your brain. So this is not at all resting. This is distraction. In the same way, and you guys will know that better as I do, people, when we experience negative emotion or even trauma, we have the tendency to distract us from it or maybe even suppress it. But that doesn't make it better. That doesn't make it go away. What we have to do is consciously experience it, and that in itself might be, not always, but might be in many cases, the necessary step to let it go. And the same principle applies to our body. When you experience stress, your sympathetic nervous system gets activated, your muscle tonus, your muscle tension gets increased. That's all well and good. We need that. For example, like as a protection mechanism, we tense up the neck, right? Everybody knows that feeling of a tense neck. But then what happens? If you continuously experiencing the stress and never consciously relax, the nervous signal from your neck, hey, I'm tense, to your brain is constant, and after a while your brain will not take that signal in anymore, so the neck is still tense, but you not aware anymore that you have a tense neck. It's the same as if you have suppressed negative emotion. Same mechanism, distraction, suppression. Here it's in the muscles. What we have to do is luckily very simple. Consciously become aware of the muscle, of the tension, and let it go. Again, from Yoga Nidra, ancient practice in yoga, we're familiar with a practice that is called body part rotation, which is consciously focusing on each and every part of the body to relax. Even in yoga, that helps us to relax the body and to recover. That is the aim of this practice. We're going to do that in our exercise as well as the second step. Third step in the second exercise, last but not least, is to let go from the mind level. So many times you will experience that you have a task that takes you for an hour, but then you'll ramble about it all day long. And actually, this is what stresses you out and not the task itself. And again, we want to apply the same principle. So maybe you're familiar with the, with the annoying habit of getting a song stuck in your head that just loops round and round and round. What helps sometimes is to read the lyrics of the song, because what your brain does, it goes over that part, that one line again and again and again, because it tries to find some sort of solution, it looks for something. So what we're doing in the exercise is also bring awareness to the task that's behind us, observe it consciously, how did it go, and then we let it go. We just drop it. And it's a bit of a paradox thing, because letting go means you don't have to do anything. It's like if you hold a heavy stone in your hand and you drop it. You don't have to like put force in your fingers to stretch them out. You just have to leave the force and it'll drop on its own. This is what we'll do in the exercise as well. Just let it go. Nothing about it. It's easy. You just let it go. You're aware, you let it go. All right. So this is the second exercise. Again, a lot of explanation that our rational mind needs to be motivated to do the exercise, right? So let's go ahead and practice the second exercise as well together. 3 steps, quite easy. Again, I ask you to make yourself comfortable. This time, it's okay. You don't have to sit completely upright. You can even lie down if you have the chance to, or lay back in your seat. Just make yourself comfortable. And again, I invite you to gently close down your eyes. Just take a normal breath or two. And then we'll start with our pranayama or breathing exercise. Exhale through the mouth and inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth, all the air out, and inhale through the nose. Continue to exhale through the mouth and inhale through the nose. And focus on your exhalation. Let the breath go, and then let the inhale just happen on its own. And you feel with every breath you sink into your seat. With each exhalation, your muscle tension reduces. Relax, let it go. Let's do about 10 more of these breaths. If you feel some tension in your body, let it go, exhale it. Some stress in your mind, Exhale it, let it go. Just let everything go and relax. You have 3 more breaths. With each breath, you feel more and more calm and relaxed. Now, one last exhale that will make you feel completely relaxed. Exhale all the air through the mouth. Let it all go. And now seal your lips and let the breath flow spontaneously through your nose. And now feel that place where the breath touches your nostril. Sharpen your awareness onto that one spot. Now expand your awareness onto your whole face. Feel your facial muscles and let them go. Let them relax. Especially your eyes, your jaw. Now feel the rest of your head, your scalp, your ears. Relax. Feel your throat and neck area. Feel your shoulders becoming soft and sink down. And feel from your right shoulder into your right arm, upper arm, elbow, lower arm, wrist, into your right hand. And relax. Just let it drop, let it sink. Feel from your left shoulder into your left arm, elbow, forearm, wrist, and hand. Just be aware of it. And as you're aware of it, it relaxes just on its own. Feel your chest and up back. Feel how the breath can flow effortlessly. Feel your middle back and solar plexus area. The breath flows easily. Feel your lower back and belly area. It's all soft and comfortable. Your body allows the breath to flow. Feel your sitting bones and your hip relax. Then feel into your right thigh, your right knee, your right calf, your right ankle, your right foot to the sole of your foot. And then feel each and every toe from the big toe into your right little toe. Relax all these big muscles. Let all the tension just go away. Then into the left thigh, knee, calf, ankle, into your left foot, sole of the foot, and then from the left big toe towards the left little toe. Now feel your entire body completely soft, relaxed, peaceful and harmonious. This is your place of recovery, of rejuvenating yourself, of healing yourself. This is your well of energy. This is where your power lies. In relaxation, it's good that you don't do anything right now. It's the best thing you can do right now. Just be. Open your awareness to your mind and reflect on the task. In our example, reading the paper, objectively observe from the beginning of the task. How did it go to the end of the task? Just look at it. And in the same way you relaxed your muscles, let it go. Let your mind be empty. It's good to have an empty mind right now. It's good to have a still body right now. The task is behind you. It's all good. Then take a few deep breaths. You can start to move your body again and blink open your eyes. Come back here. All right. Very short, very simple. But maybe anybody of you wants to share? Did it help you to calm down a bit, to relax? All right. It's fine.
Everyone, kindly feel free to share your experiences.
So, experience is pretty rejuvenating, to be very frank with you all, and it helps me. It helps becoming more mindful about your breath, about what goes on to your mind, and how you respond to various things. A person becomes more mindful while doing these practices. So I guess it's really worth every second.
Awesome.
What I want to
Thank
convey.
What I want to share is that, like, as I close my eyes, I feel so calm. I give myself a break. Then I give my time to my thoughts. Then yes, like then I know what I'm doing, what I have to do, and like then I believe in myself. I start to realize where it goes wrong and what I have to do. So yes, it was really an eye opener for me.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. So the exercise worked. It's good to know. Now, so the essence of Hatha Yoga is practice. Only practice makes knowledge worthy. Only applied wisdom is worthy. So, these two exercises can be used by you before and after any task. Maybe you can use them in the morning and apply them to your entire day and use them in the other one in the evening. Or maybe before you do a study, before you study something, an hour before you start, you do it, and then after. These exercises are basically my present for you. I designed them for you guys. It was a huge honor to do that workshop, and I enjoyed the process. It was very meaningful to me to create these exercises for you. And I'll give them to you right now. I'll share links with you. There are two YouTube links where you find both exercises as a video format on YouTube. I'll also share a download link where you can download both exercises as audio. And way more importantly than this, I challenge you. I challenge you to do both exercises at least one time a day for 30 days. If you listen to this workshop and you thought, yeah, that makes sense, that could work, then try it out. If you don't do the exercise, nothing will change. If you do the exercises, maybe it will be very powerful for you. So what I'm going to do for everyone who takes that courage and that step to take that challenge for 30 days to try it, it's just 5 minutes a day. I'll share a Google form where you will have a self-survey before the 30-day challenge, where you'll have a few questions about your stress levels and how you feel in general. It's all, you don't even have to have an account, it's all anonymous, no worries. I'm not collecting emails, I'm not gonna bombard you with advertisements, no worries. So you can take part in the survey, in the form, you can fill it out before the 30 days, and there's also a second link to fill out the form after the 30-day challenge. So this is what I have for you. I share the links here in the comment box. I'm very happy for any sort of feedback, any sort of questions, clarifications, and more importantly, I am very happy and very honored by everyone who does the exercise. Because as I shared in the beginning, I believe it's my purpose in life to help people to grow, to heal, to improve their lives. And so whenever I have a chance to give something to somebody, I'm so moved if I have the chance to improve their lives with such practices. So if you want to give back, don't thank me, just do the exercises. That would be the biggest gift and the biggest honor that you could do to me and to yourself. So yeah, that's it. Thank you all so much, and namaste.
Thank you, sir. It was surely a very enviable session for all of us. And I'm sure that we all are willing to take your challenge and we'll do the exercises for 30 days. Thank you for giving us you gave a clarity to our visions, changed our perspectives towards life. So yes, we're really glad here. We're really glad to hear you. So now, if anyone is having any queries, feel free to write on the chat box. So yes, you all can ask.
I have a query.
Yes.
I just wanted to ask that what inspired you to set out on this journey?
What inspired me personally? It's a good question, which is difficult to ask because I don't think I can pinpoint any certain thing. I think I can name that I'm generally inclined to learning and growing, and that I'm generally open to new experiences, and that this gave me a certain interest in many things. And so I just came across yoga, and the practice just showed like magnificent effects in my life. And I was like, wow, this is awesome. So I just continue doing it every day because it makes me feel awesome. It's as simple as that. So this is also answering the question of Arti. how to develop the interest. I mean, it's really when it's oftentimes, you have to force yourself to do something for a little bit, for 2-3 weeks, or for 30 days, the challenge. But then when you see how it changes your life and how you just feel better, how everything just becomes better through practice, then you'll do it automatically, and you'll do it joyfully, and it won't be a burden anymore. When you have that sense of joy and meaning in anything you do, it's not a burden. You're not stressed doing it. I enjoy sitting and creating this workshop, and sitting last night and working. It was a joy, and doing my practice is a joy because I know what it does to me, and that there lies the interest in the experience itself. So it's not about the theory, like an interest in the theory. It's just an interest in like what experience am I able to have, and how is the practice able to change my experience of life. That is really the interest and the inspiration that I have to do this stuff. It's very simple. It's just joy and yeah, and meaning. There's a lot of meaning in it. So Nonita asked, what are the benefits you experienced? I'm not sure if you ask in general or in general with yoga or in these exercises itself. With yoga, I'm comfortable in my body. Number one, that's the first thing you experience when you start Vipassana practice. You just feel comfortable. It's awesome to not be in pain. It's awesome to be full of energy. You get up in the morning, you're full of energy. You go to bed, you sleep properly. All this happens through the practice of Asana. But actually also a lot of other exercises can do similar things. I think Asana practice is superior in many ways to other physical exercises. But the benefits of physical exercise in general and of Asana in particular are like on all levels. It helps you with emotional regulation. You just feel more calm during the day. You have better energy, you have better sleep. It is basically like supercharging you as a human, because everything you're doing, you do better if you're fit. It is priceless to be fit. And this is what asana can do. And then meditation and pranayama obviously help on the mind level. You're sharp. You can concentrate better. When you study, you become a better performer. Or if you're a professor, you become a better performer in what you do, because you can focus sharper. You can concentrate for longer. You can let go of rambling thoughts quicker. The list is endless, really. So it's moving. It's wonderful. And with these exercises in particular, I've practiced the exercises that I shared with you myself, and I'll do the 30-day challenge with you. For example, I've applied them to playing piano. I play the piano. When I do the exercise before and after playing the piano, my practice sessions get way more productive because I'm there. I'm not distracted in checking my phone. I sit for an hour. I know which piece I'm going to practice, and after I feel better to let it go. So it just improves performance very much by this engagement, and then it helps you to switch out of it afterwards and just go about your day and not think, oh, should I have practiced longer, did I practice the right thing? No, it just goes. So, and really on anything I tried the exercise, I felt that I do it before and after any task, it did improve my performance in the task. So yeah, it's cool. It's fun. Any more questions? Anything else?
Hello, this is Binoy here.
I am a faculty at Aryabhat College in the Department of English. I just want to say I don't have a question. I just wanted to say that it was indeed very helpful. And no matter how much we think of ourselves as happy-go-lucky or stuff like that, these are times where all of us feel stressed out when the boundaries between workplace and home has kind of been erased inevitably. So we constantly find ourselves, be it students or we as teachers within university paradigm, we constantly find ourselves sort of constantly juggling between the two, work and things that are related to home. So we are living in times of stress, and I particularly found your these two workshop that you did within this today's format particularly very helpful. And so I would actually request you and the psychology department to actually do more of such kind of stuff on a module kind of basis, maybe a week long. And I think perhaps we will gain much more out of if we do a week long kind of series like that. So my request to you and to the psychology department is that we have more of this, maybe on a weekly basis or a week long kind of workshop. So that's all. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Benoy. Of course, if there is any inquiries, I'm always happy to share. Just, you have my email, you have my number. I can also just share my email in the chat. So for anybody else, any question, just feel free to get in touch. And I'd be very happy to continue this work. I'm very honored by the invitation, by the chance to speak to all of you. It's my greatest pleasure to do that. So yeah, I'm always there.
Thank you.
So, does anyone has any question to ask?
Yes, I have.
Atishi, Kartikeya, and Gopal raised their hands. So, yeah, Ayushi, you decide who goes first.
So, Kartikeya, just go ahead.
Yeah. So one question I had from, first of all, I'm thankful to sir for this enriching session. And secondly is, sir, can you just guide us to become more mindful, because we have a lot of things which occupy us, be it our college assignments, social media, social life, our friends, everything occupies us a lot. So that basically disrupts our focus and we become less mindful. So how to be very mindful and alert in all the life situations?
Practice, I believe, just practice being mindful. And I know it's difficult, but what what helps is, I believe, to have certain reminders. And then I would go into breath. So what might be helpful is what I like is a thing that a lot of people do is like wear a bracelet or a ring or anything like that. Whenever you see or feel it, it reminds you to be mindful. Because mindfulness is really about the presence in the moment, right? And it is just bringing your awareness to your senses. So that can be very helpful to, just see what you're seeing, taste what you're tasting in your mouth right now, check if you smell anything, or feel your fingers touching each other. Like some little thing like that, and then just practice it day by day. Like that would be just one very little cue that I could give you right now. In general, of course, mindfulness is a big topic, but this is I think the exercise I would suggest, because it's something we have to do like a billion times, really, to just bring us back in the moment, If you try to meditate sometime, it's like, you sit for an hour and every 10 minutes you just realize, oh, I was supposed to concentrate on my breathing, and then you're just somewhere in your mind. And this we want to try doing into our day-to-day life. Just give yourself some cue that will pull you back into the now. Could be even if you want to go with your smartphone, there are apps where you can have an alert that just makes a bing, like a ding, every hour or so. And every time you hear it, you'll be reminded of like, oh, okay. And this reminder oftentimes is already enough to bring your awareness to your senses. Just take a breath, feel what you're feeling, taste what you're tasting, then you hear. So you can try doing that. And yeah, that would be
Yeah.
my message for now.
So now we'll take the last question. That is of Atisha. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. So I wanted to ask about how whenever I get regular with my meditation practice, so I've been trying to practice mindfulness for a while now, a couple of years, and whenever I get regular with my meditation practice, I somehow get really sensitive to bright lights and loud noises in my environment, and that sometimes really gets to me. I mean, it shouldn't, right? So what should I am I doing something wrong?
I can't say if you do anything wrong because obviously I don't know, I'm not aware of your meditation technique, and I'm just by hearing the question, I don't have enough information to provide a solid enough answer, but there is something that is coming to my mind that you could consider, look into, and think about. So oftentimes, many teachers just give the cue, meditate more. Like if you meditate and you encounter something, meditation is self-exploration to a large degree, right? So if you encounter something within yourself, which is uncomfortable, many teachers just say, meditate more and go deeper into it. But, here's the big but, meditation does not solve all problems of life. So, if it is, that might not be your case, but just as an example, if somebody has a suppressed traumatic memory that he doesn't really remember, but it causes feelings of anxiety. So when he meditates, after he gets deeper into his subconscious, he starts to feel that anxiety, which is coming from that traumatic memory. The right thing might not be to just meditate more and more and become more and more anxious, but actually to seek out therapy. So that's the thing, like I don't know what the root of this sensitivity is. But it is interesting to explore what the cause for the sensitivity is, because it might be the case that you're discovering something in your meditation, and it might be the case that meditating more will make it clear to you and then dissolve it. But it might also be the case that you're discovering something that you should try to solve otherwise. For example, through shadow work. Might be familiar with shadow work as a psychologist, or through therapy, or it could even be physical, like maybe it has to do something with your eyes, maybe search an eye doctor, something like that, so that's what so try to find and reflect on what is the root, why are you becoming more sensitive, and then try to solve the problem in a certain way for yourself. So, but it is sometimes, it's not always, but it can happen. It's not uncommon that through continuous meditation, we uncover something that might feel uncomfortable that we then have to resolve, either through meditation or other techniques. Okay.
Thank you.
Just for Swamya, there's one more question. You can write me an email. I'll answer you an email because that was the last question for here. So feel free to contact me via email. I have put my email into the chat, and then I can answer your question over there.
So thank you, sir, for inspiring this call, and I hope that all your queries have been resolved. And as like sir said, you can contact him anytime. So now again, I would like to invite Dr. Rajesh Trivedi, the TIC of Psychology Department, to kindly conclude the session.
Thank you, Ayushi. Means concluding the session of Marcus Henna is really a very difficult task because he had a very wide, big canvas. The first thing that you can learn from him is not what he said, how he looks. All through, he has been sitting with his backbone straight. This is the first indication of a yogi. Whenever you try to take help of your hand or want to twist your body, is there something wrong in it? The first, Miss Vivekananda has said that unless you have your backbone straight, no good thoughts can ever enter your mind. Which it has to be there. So you can see all through, and the posture with which he's maintaining his head, never leaning on one way or another. So his body image is speaking much more than what he has said, all through. It's very important in life. So many a time, people speak about it, but they never practice it. This is what he's doing. All through his session. Means he has spoken for almost 2 hours, but still, the body posture is the same. This is something you should learn. There are 2 ways of doing things. Usually we know that mind controls the body, but at times body also controls the mind. Many a time when you sit in a particular posture, in a very smart style, the mind starts working accordingly. When he is talking about Hatha Yoga, it is body that is controlling the mind. When he is asking, when he's talking about the breathing exercise, this is called Sukshma Yoga. When you put your body in different postures, it is Sthul. Sukshma Yoga is very important in controlling the mind. So whenever he says you are doing the task before or after, if you do it, the concentration is there. No matter any Hatha Yoga, I said means Zid, tenacity. Means many of people may be talking about whether we should do or not. This is what Hatha Yoga is all about. Once you decide something, you have to do it. Because you may talk about thousands of things. You have tons of books in your library. But if you don't do even an ounce of work, it doesn't mean anything. So Hatha Yoga means translating what you are saying into reality. You have to do it, you have to do it. You may fail many times, but again, you have to try. Means the way he traced from the very beginning, from the Greek and others, and he brought it, just a very good example of everything. Now he talked about expelling the bell, what you call air, breath. We have almost a tendency to accumulate things, jama karne ka. Dene ka to tension ho jata hai. And yoga teaches you, the more you expel, the more fresh things come in life. Stagnant water stink. In life also the same thing is there. The more you expel, you are expelling carbon dioxide and you are getting pure oxygen. But the problem is the typical Indian tendency. Whenever we have to give something, the tension arises. And the second tendency is, if I am giving, will I get recognition? Recognition is the healthy mind. But healthy mind always resides in healthy body. So body is the only instrument we have. Many other questions were there. My body is not good to look at. Body is always good to look at. You are not looking at your body in a good way. Problem is with the mind, not problem with the body. Whatever body we have, whatever things we have, it's a gift of God. The way we carry it is more important. You must have seen, Miss Napoleon Bonaparte was only of 5 feet. Hitler was also of 5 feet. But did it make any difference? Right or wrong, whatever they did. Means we unnecessarily care. Charlie Chaplin, what type of body did I have? Did he ever care about it? Nowhere. So what we have tried to understand is how we think about it. He was giving emphasis on the thought process. It's a very important thing in life. So body postures, all these things. Now, Alisha was talking about the many experiences she's having. If she goes through Vivekananda's Raj Yoga, he is discussing the type of experience she is having. When you go in for meditation and progressive manner, you encounter these things and how to tackle it, how to understand it. He has explained it a very nice way when he was delivering his speech in University of Harvard. It has been scientifically proved also. So these things do happen in life. There are solutions, but the solutions are read, go through, and meet people. He has very nicely said there are many other things, not that the meditation can solve all problems of our life. Otherwise, everyone will stop doing everything and keep on doing meditation for 24 hours a day. Nothing like that. It is helps you in doing that main work that is to be done in life. So this is what it is. Means you can always indulge in breathing exercises, the way he said, to control things, to control your mind. Focus of the mind is a very important thing, and mind is a very powerful tool. You can do anything and everything. And he has rightly said, many a time we think that there is something wrong in that. No, take rest. After taking rest, you get rejuvenated, and then you can do any amount of work. Means it is almost impossible to set a limit to it. So when we are talking about the Sukshma, stopping breath and all these things, he has explained it in a very intensive manner. So stress, whenever we expel the breath, we are expelling stress. Fresh air comes, it soothes down everything. So letting go, when he is playing the breath, it is a strategy of life. Let go things. Don't try to suppress it, control it. The more you let the things go, and do remember, the first thing I love, while I'm ending, I'm again referring to is learn from his body language. Means in an interview, when you give the public speech, when you are hearing public speech, the best, whenever you go anywhere, first thing is you are seen on a physical level. And if you are shabby on the physical level, to hell with the mental level. That comes later on. Only Einstein and others could have thought about, no matter how they are living on physical level, on mental level, they will remain right. But most of the people start like this. So he has very nicely talked about Hatha Yoga. At the end, again, I'm saying Hat comes from the word sun. And Ha from sun, and Tha from moon. Body, sun symbolizes what? Power, energy. Energy on the physical level. And Tha from mental level. When both get combined, then that you become dynamo of power. You can do anything and everything. Mind is a very important. Moon symbolizes the mind. I told you at the very beginning. So when both these get combined, Herculean tasks can be performed. Unprecedented things can be performed. You have heard him, please practice it. Hearing doesn't mean anything unless you practice it. So thank you, Marcus Hanna. Not only you have learned these things, you are imparting the knowledge, you are practicing it. So a man who does not practice, even then the person can speak. No one can stop it. We teachers do all the time, whether we practice it or not. But it will never have effect on the students. The only way to really make a change, that there should be a conjunction between what we preach and what we practice. You are doing both the things. Yes, you are a rare example of that. So thank you very much. And now, Ayushi, you can take over.
Thank you, sir.